interested in, when you're going out on farm, or when farmers are talking to you, I suppose, about using your product, does that sort of evolve into, broader discussions around, regenerative farming, and, do you charge for that, or is it part of the, the whole service, or how does that work?
So I come attached to a product. There's no secret in that. That's fine. That's, I sell a product to make a living. I've got no problem with that. What I'm finding is quite often I'm one of the early touch points for people looking to change something. So through a third-party recommendation, I get a lot of calls about seed inoculation from people that are looking to jump off, reduce, change their systems up a bit, get off the chemical bandwagon or the fertiliser bandwagon so much. So fairly regularly, I'll be one of the first people they've ever spoken to about this kind of stuff. I really value that as a role. So I'm kind of that safe person, right? You can ask me all the questions in the world. I won't know the answer to all of them, but I'm often the person that will go through those first ideas of what is a bacteria? What does it do? What are fungi doing in my soil? What are these other things? What are protozoa? What are these things? Now, I value that role in that they are fine to ask me anything, and I'll run through it with as much as I can. Now, if I can get them to the next stage where that first bit's not so much of a mystery, they can move on and go deeper with it. We do go into concepts quite a lot. Look, there's some really fantastic concepts that I've been introduced to. I'm going to say 90% by Dr. Christine Jones, probably a lot of people in the same boat. Some of those deeper concepts of forum sensing and rhizophagy and so on, signalling molecules, auto-inducers, horizontal gene transfer. To me, I don't have to explain them all to people, but if you can broach this idea of just how wonderful and exciting and bizarre these things are, that's fantastic. That potentially has opens up an idea of wonder. You couldn't make most of this stuff up. Like, sci-fi's got nothing on what goes on under the ground. So whilst a lot of it starts at a simple level, I'll try and put some concepts in there that are just fantastic.
The thing that I couldn't remember because it sounds so technical, you just said it then, the horizontal gene transfer. Have other people heard about that? I'm seeing a nod from Kathy and Alan. All right. It was just me, was it?
It was just you. Like, I thought everyone knew about this stuff.
Okay.
I wonder I get blank looks from. Wait till we go into the stuff I found yesterday on. Hang on, I've got to find the term because it was put in an acronym, but it was surrounding. Okay, plant growth promoting rhizobacteria, and how worms signal their signalling molecules or auto-inducers are actually the same range of molecules as the plant growth promoting rhizobacteria signals. Yeah, so that's next week's topic. The wonder of these things to me, I get pretty pumped about it. If I can share a bit of that and just get people to just see how deep this is. It's not, we put this on, plant grows this big, we go home. It's a whole exciting system going on that we're trying to harness and utilise in our own farming system. So back to wherever that headed off from, if people are reading about seed inoculation, generally it's an easy way in. It's inexpensive. It's a relatively easy process. It generally starts with someone wanting to put winter oats in or ryegrass. We're going to do this, right? So that leads to a whole range of discussion. Whether we call it coaching or information sharing or whatever we'd like to call that process, that is how I end up meeting people attached to a product. That's all good. And just trying to share some of these ideas with people. So, hopefully it does lead people down a rabbit hole and they get to consider, things a little bit deeper that won't have been talked about at a lot of the places they've learned stuff from. Their agronomist or their CRT representative probably won't approach much of this. So I value that position a lot, and I've made some fantastic friends out of it. People that I hear from pretty regularly. I think it's fantastic. It's really, something I'm really happy to do for anyone. And quite often, or fairly regularly, we don't sell anything out of it.
If the salesman tells you that, that plants, like that it's simple to grow plants, then they're lying. If they're not talking about quorum sensing, rhizophagy, all of these, really scientific things, then they're oversimplifying.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And that's all we can ever do. I think the level to which we understand stuff now is fantastic, but I really think it'll be nothing compared to what we're going to find out.